as much. You hear more about artists that want to talk about gun violence, hustling in the, in the hood, in the trap, whatever it is, back and living that lifestyle. That's what they want to talk about, and that's what's celebrated. But that's not
Yeah.
their fault either, though. You have
And
to look at the CEOs of the record industries and the labels who want to push that message to out there and sell that, and because they know the African American communities and other communities buy it up, and it's really sad when you look at it.
it is very sad. And you hit on the mark right there. It is about money. It is about selling. You can take an album where you're talking about something positive. It's not
Hmm.
going to get the publicity. And it's not going to be pushed as much as an album that's going to be talking about sex, money, drugs. It's just not. You don't see other culture, other, music industries that would push their music on anyone else talking about that, demeaning their own people as much. But in the black community, that's all we talk about. We talk about killing, our brothers and sisters. We talk about, selling drugs. We talk about, owning these blocks and corners and everything like that. And we market that out to our own, peers, and we buy
Hmm.
it, and then our children buy it, and then who else is buying that? Which is very common now is that the other communities, they're buying and listening to the music. Why?
Hmm.
Because it has a catchy hook or a
It's
nice
a
beat.
catchy hook.
But they don't understand or listening to that lifestyle. They don't know about that, but they'll know and repeat every single line that's in one of these
Hmm.
songs. But they don't live that. That's not their life. But
Then
there's
that's
money
absolutely
to be
correct.
made. Yes, there's
There's
money to be
money to be
made.
made. There's money to be made, and then they get out there and then they live that life. And the almost insulting part is because for all the individuals, in the African American community that don't live that lifestyle, that's the first thing people think when they see an African American, or they think, right? If you ask, a person, when you talk about black music, what do they really, what do they think about it? What do they realize when they hear rap music? They're going to talk about potentially gold teeth or whatever it is, because that's
Yeah.
what they see. And unfortunately, that's what they mimic. And you touched on it, it's really doing a disservice to us in the community, that they just, this is what is perpetuated. This is what's put out there. And it's reality. It's really what's put out there. And you really, really touched on it when you said that there are look at the other genres of music by individuals that aren't African American. You don't hear
Mhm.
country music talking about shooting people or running up on people, or coming to see me,
Selling,
or hustling, selling
some
drugs,
drugs and things of that nature. No.
sexualizing women 24/7. You don't hear that. You don't hear that in their music. You don't hear it in their pop music. You don't hear it in any other music. But the music that we own, that's what you hear. Saying own, that we're known for, is that's what you hear. And that's what sells. And so that's what they push. They don't look for the rapper that's speaking wholesome or telling kids, not saying that and I want to correct something. I don't want to say that the music that's out there, the individuals behind it, aren't really doing things in the community. That's not what I'm saying.
No, we
That
didn't
are
mention
an
that at all.
asset to
No,
the
go ahead.
community.
Yep.
Correct. I want to roll back and touch on that, because I don't want us to think that we're bashing, the rappers who are out there. No, we're not. We're just saying that, think about the music, what you create, right, and how it impacts the
the
community.
impact the impact on the community. That's the
Exactly.
key thing, is what we were just having this conversation about, the impact that the music that is being created by the rappers, and I'm gonna call, artists. They are artists, because you truly have to have a gift to be able to, sing about what you've witnessed and things of that nature, put it to pen, put in that time and that effort in a studio to write it down. That's
Hmm.
dedication. So they are artists, but it's just about, the
Yes.
content. Once again, it's about the content of what you're putting out there. You hit on it. Some of those conscious rappers just aren't getting as much exposure. Why? Because we believe, like everything else, controversy sells.
Controversy sells.
And what sells? Drugs, sex, money. You know, it's
Drugs, sex,
just
money, and violence.
and
That's what
violence.
sells. That's what's sold. That's what's sold, and that's what's been pushed in our communities. In the
Thank you.
majority of the movies that are put out there that are created by African Americans are usually, we end up being a drug dealer in the movie, or we end up being something that's viewed in a negative light, and a lot of times, and that's unfortunate. But that's what sells, and that's what these talented young artists, who are these rappers, or whoever, the singers, or whatever they may be, that's what they are. They are artists, like you said. But in order for them to make money, they have to push this negative energy out there into, the universe. And it's just absorbed in our community, because you have 14, 15 year olds looking up to these people. And
Oh, younger than that.
unfortunately, yeah, much younger than that, right? Unfortunately, this is what they see, right? So until we start realizing it and really just take a stand and saying, nah, we're not going to push this negative energy into our community. We're not going to be those role models that perpetuate violence, right? Or selling drugs or over sexualizing women, right? African
Right.
American women, especially, right? We shouldn't do that because this really does us a disservice as a people, and that's
Facts.
really where we're trying to go with it. Like, we do see you as artists, right? You are artists, you're talented young artists, right? But own what you're doing, right? And own it to the point to where you're not saying, I'm gonna push anything in this community for $1. Because if you do it,
Right.
that's unfortunate.
It's unfortunate. And, that's, we understand, it is a business and it's about to make money, but don't hurt the community in the end, in the long go. And we believe that that's just what has happened over the decades and decades. Rap, when it first came out, it was something that folks really didn't understand and know what it was about, if it
Mm-hmm.
was going to even last. But after decades, we've been able to prove them wrong and to say, hey, rap came and it was here and it's here to stay. D Mega, me and Hawk want to appreciate you staying tuned and listening to our topic discussing black music and the culture. But before you leave, don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned to the conclusion of black music, the culture, music. Appreciate it. Turn my mic up. We out.